both of these experienced veterans kind of support their team. And
we were muted.
Apologize. Yeah,
we were muted the entire time. We're sitting here breaking down numbers. It's fine, guys. It's okay. No Ice Fire. We're not gonna blame you. It's okay. Everything had last night. We had tech issues in both first rounds of both maps, and now our producer is sabotaging us. He doesn't want us to look good. But it's fine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're all fine. We were talking about these two MVPs going head to head. The numbers difference is a bit of a difference here, but let's go ahead and take a look at our map pick this evening. Again, let's go ahead and reiterate this because we weren't heard on the first go. I am Sir Mickey, joined by Zero Fights. Welcome to the Tenax series presented by Harmony Esports. Your teams for tonight are Empire Redux, and they're going head to head against Tenax. These are your maps. It's going to be an Empire pick, starting with Tenax on defense, and then the next two maps, Tenax will be on attack, which is going to be a Lotus and Split. And you mentioned momentarily there, talking about maps like Haven and controlling aspect of it. That is going to be our first map. And Zero, if you remember, I like to say a certain thing. I don't know if you want to maybe take the reins on this one, though.
I mean, I do know what you mean. And I think, though, to be honest, like, I don't know. I'm super excited. I mean, it's not a best of 3 without Haven. And it is true. It is true. I mean, we were even seeing it in VCT earlier. I mean, it's just a banger map. You can't go wrong with these 3-site maps. And we're going to be heading straight into Agent Select. And I don't really expect to see any differences here compared to last week in these team compositions. The thing I'm mainly going to be looking for, pretty standard for both of these teams. Nothing super crazy, except Evil Oppie maybe deciding to maybe switch over to that Yoru. But both these teams played Lotus and Haven for their first maps last week, and they both lost on Haven 5-13. So not the best performances out of each of these teams. So it might get a little bit scrappy here, especially with the triple tail that they're hovering currently. But I'll be interested to see, because obviously it can't happen again to where both teams lose 5-13. But it will definitely be interesting to see how that head-to-head matchup comes into play. And like we were comparing the controllers earlier, I think the smokes and how those are placed, the timing of those is going to be super huge on that defense half. But we'll have to see where, Tenax just decide to go ultimately with this comp, because I wouldn't mind seeing this double controller VIP comp come out.
I mean, Triple Tejo, I'm still here for it. I'm still rooting for it. But I don't know. It's looking very standard meta here. I mean, look, I love to. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a good standard composition, but I mean, you know, we've seen it before, but that doesn't mean that we can't be surprised. You know, some of these players are absolutely cracked out of their minds. Let's be honest. So there's really no predicting here, especially with two powerhouse of teams that these rosters combine into. But I mean, I'm here for it. I'm ready for Haven, man.
No, I am as well, and I think we're going to be seeing an exciting matchup. It's going to be Tenax starting over on that defensive half, so maybe not the most favored, but if you're able to get a pretty good lead on that defensive half for maybe even 5 rounds, you're pretty confident going into that second half to be able to convert and to be able to succeed. And starting on this pistol round, it looks like we might be gearing up for a little bit of a mid fight. Tenax grouping up over towards that mid position with 3 players, and on the other side for Empire Redux, they're looking to meet them right away, swinging out from window as well into grass.
Good defensive setup here from Tenax. Opting for a triple stack on B site, which MJ is going to peek right into, take a couple to the chest and go ahead and back off. They have the information. Hey, look at this. C is wide open. Av was completely flushed down long, and now there's Red coming in from every angle. They're going to be able to pick up one, but Shelby and company, they have something to say about it. Oppie does pick up two before falling to Shelby, but now it comes down to Bjorn in a 1-on-2. Spike looking for a plant, potentially here. 2 shock darts, full HP, a minute on the clock.
One enemy
Bjorn
remaining.
has the potential to get this done, does take down MJ.
Still has 2 shock darts as well.
Solid timing. And there we go. No! Oh, I thought for sure Bjorn was taking that with that early headshot, but Shelby cut him down. 3 rounds on the, or 3, excuse me, 3 kills on the board for Shelby. Cutting right through that final Sova, and that's first round the way of Empire.
Yeah, just crouching under the ghost shots there with that Frenzy and putting in work. I mean, the Frenzy did get that slight buff to where the Frenzy now has 15 bullets instead of 13. That definitely can come into play, especially when you get set up like that from their team. If you didn't notice, Shelby got Raid Boss, so they had armor and the Frenzy, just heavily investing into that, and it paid off. Now into this low buy, we see this FBX buy come out in Arc and Pororo, just playing slow-ins. Pushing up Evil Oppie.
Just Pororo is kind of facing danger here. But they're going to go ahead and back off. It is a very slow round so far, already down to a minute left. All 10 somehow still alive.
And I like this from Arc, being the one with the Ghost pushing up and kind of exploring the map, seeing if they can get anything. There's not really any investment that you're going to be losing outside of that armor here. Very smart decision making. Smoke to come out. And the rotates are coming over as well. The read is correct for the defense of Tenax.
40 seconds. Empire with the entry off of this fault line. They're going to try to make an attempt here. But the paranoia to counter. Everyone's stunned. Everyone's blind. Shelby somehow finds herself on site. Verona gets the party started. 3 versus 5 now with an early 2-piece. MJ picks one up as well. Spike has been dropped and recaptured immediately, but I think... No, it was a tap. Okay, they didn't drop again. Everything's fine. Less than 10 seconds now. Oppie comes out of nowhere down the flank from long.
Last player
Picks up
standing.
one. And Bjorn not going to have enough time to defy the
Spike
plant,
planted.
but now it's time for the retake. 40 HP in a dream.
Ooh, okay.
Unfortunate.
And that is the second round being picked up there. And with that, I pointed out they did only opt for 3 rifles and 2 ghosts. Now, even though 3 players did go down, they should be able to buy up and have another 3 rifles, if not 4, into this. Yeah, we see that it's going to be Pororo even forcing down to the Bulldog. So a very strong buy going into this third round, trying to bonus. On the other side of Bjorn is only 1 away from that Hunter's Fury. Gonna try to get online pretty early, if I would have to guess here. Yeah.
My ult is ready.
Gonna be a huge ultimate.
If used correctly.
Once again, pushing up here early on, taking the drone as well. 2 rounds in a row now. Very aggressive over towards A.
Moving information from both out drones here. Love seeing that Sova come out. And now it looks like a big pile of red Empire. Looking to target long here. Oppie stuck in that corner. We saw some insane corner action from that spot last week. Let's see if Oppie can make it happen again. Picks up 1 and 2. Trigger discipline comes through, but MJ's there for the trade. Numbers are dwindling for Empire. Redux not looking good so far. It comes down to a 2 versus 4 here. But Pororo might just have enough time to get the spike down. If MJ can hold off.
Last player
Retake
standing.
from Tenax, but no, has no chance of holding anything off. Bjorn picks up 2 in a quick fashion, and that's finally going to get a round on the board for Tenax.
Yeah, very nice coming out from Tenax and having a lot stay alive there, not even investing that Hunter's Fury. So now has it into this 4th round. MJ with that ult of their own, but looking over at the credits, MJ doesn't have a rifle. Everyone else should be pretty set up. But other than that, I'm looking over at Evil Oppie. If they can get this round in the bag, at least Razora will have enough money for that operator. And if they can get that online early, could be a huge win condition to try to start farming up some of these defense rounds.
Scanning
First
ahead.
full rifle round for both teams.
This is where the big gunfights start to come into play. These mid rounds are so much fun to watch.
And this aggressive push as well into this jail position is so nice. There's no camera. It was broken early on.
Oh, Arc.
But this drone, does it
Oppie
spot them out?
spots it Oppie
I don't
sees
know.
it,
There's no
avoids it.
pings. I don't. This may be the play. It may be perfect if Empire Redux decide to continue on and Catgirl,
Ooh,
Razora.
good early pick.
Right?
Oppie, no! Not enough time to react. May finds himself in a similar situation, does pick up one. Can they find the second? 3 bullets dwindling, but no, Catgirl comes in for the rescue. Always
Wonderful
left
push.
on site. Aurora's there as well. They have sight, they just need to get that spike down.
Yeah, just seeing if there's any aggression before they get this spike down. Maybe they're going to flash
Last
forward.
player standing. 30 seconds left.
The timing, unfortunate, there always does go down. 1 versus 4 now for Ferraro. Bjorn comes out swinging. No dice though. Ferraro not gonna find a second one. May seals the deal 2-2 as Tenax proven themselves on this defensive half.
Yeah, just didn't feel comfortable there getting the spike down in that 2v4 when they know so many players are grouped up over towards Garage. I mean, Tenax will just flood out there and take over that site. So don't hate that. And now, like I was mentioning, Evil Oppie brings out the operator early on, round 5, getting it online. And I wouldn't even mind not bringing the operator into this round and rather bringing an outlaw. I mean, we've seen how powerful that gun can be, just having that 2-shot burst onto this light and regen armor. But a fast default to gain control over towards this long control.
Bjorn and Oppie causing trouble here for Empire. Oppie with an early operating shot. A second one to follow it. Meanwhile, Catgirl fighting off this sewer push as much as they can, but they don't know always he's already in that corner. Bjorn gonna check it. No! Bjorn wasn't expecting the angle from Always. That's gonna give a nice, well, it could have given a nice entry, but the opportunity was not taken. Now May comes in off the rotate to help out their teammate. It all comes down to timing these smokes. Scared for both. Always swings out. May picks up 2 beautifully. And Catgirl's there for the final nail in the coffin. 3 rounds in a row now for Tenax, looking solid.
Yeah. And a good idea from the side of Empire Redux, just trying to put that smoke to break up that crossfire and then the flash and the dart through the smoke. But sadly, the corner was just not checked, and May able to pick up 2 there, closing it out and putting themselves onto a 3rd round. And now the money, look at this. I mean, 7,000 in the bank for Evil Oppie, 5K for most of the other players. It's going to be a long road into this, but on the other side, these ults are going to start to get online for both teams here.
Shelby looking for an assist from that flash to give an early peek, but May was already ready for it. Smokes up to deflect. Shelby and Peroro gonna take a stroll on through Garage. Oppie pulling off the site in the meantime. Just like that, Empire has control of C site. The Hunter's Fury comes out. No information whatsoever, no damage whatsoever from the Hunter's Fury, but both ciphers pick up one. One gets traded out. It's all hell breaking loose across C site. Oppie looking for a pick here.
And with that op as well, so hard. Oh, gets the shot through the wall, gets the second as well.
Oppie picks a second one
enemy
as
remaining.
well. Bjorn's there for another. Always unfortunate positioning. And Tenax really starting to gain control here on Haven. I mean, they are looking solid. Starting on the defense now, 4 rounds in a row. on a map that is very attacking sided. I mean, that's got to feel good for Tenax.
Oh, it definitely does. And I mean, Evil Oppie there having 2 shots through that backside box, just so confident that Shelby was playing back there. And like you were saying, I mean, a fantastic start to this series, not even getting that pistol round, but already having 4 rounds online, but looking towards Empire Redux. They have 5 ultimates online that will be able to bring out the Blade Storm as well. If they could get a pick or 2 early into this round 7, they might be convinced to use some of the other ultimates, try to put themselves onto a 3rd. But a fast start into Garage here, breaking the tripwire.
Shelby really falling in love with Garage here. May hasn't quite caught on to it, but it's all about angle.
Give me those back.
Shelby's got a good one. There's one more. Rosora waiting on the other side of the door. The timing. Rosora pushing up. Shelby falling back, taking lots of damage though. Meanwhile, Bjorn taking down Arth. It's a war zone across mid here. Information being looked for. Rosora completely blind. Has to back off of that angle. Now 50 seconds on the clock as the entirety of Empire is trying to force their way either down mid or through the garage. And that was a very unfortunate Rolling Thunder. No one on 10X was affected by that Rolling Thunder.
No, but they did get the sight here. And they do have these 2 rifles. Oh, what a good aftershock as well. So winnable.
Oops.
Oppie.
Last player standing.
Oppie showing why they continuously buy that weapon and have it in their name. Now, Rosora picks up that final pick, and there we go. 5 rounds in a row. I mean, Zero, if you're an Empire fan, you're probably not feeling too great right now. I mean, this is still, it's not too bad. It's only a 5-round deficit, but it's just the fact that it's 5 rounds in a row for 10X. They are feeling it on the economy. They are just riding the high, and they're feeling so good. And Empire is just clawing for pennies right now in the couch cushions, and it's not fun to watch. It's actually very sad and desperate. It's very sad. But Empire, they got to find something within the next couple rounds, at least on the economical side, or else we're going to see a really tough end to this first half.
Yeah, it would have to be a miracle to bring this one back. And May playing a little bit of a bait setup with the operator set up behind them. Like you're saying, I mean, 5 rounds unresponded. Oh, timing on that was so unfortunate. Both Jets just throwing that cloud burst to disengage just a little bit. On the other side of the map, Bjorn trying to re-clear, spots the Cypher. That is some good info, but it could very well just be that lurker set up in position. And if they're not able to get this round...
Okay, Rosora. Oh, Bjorn's there for the save. Rosora almost got caught in the blind, but thank goodness for that Sova. The Barova combo coming out in full tonight, but Oppie finds themselves in a sticky situation. They are going to be able to get out of it, though. Time is ticking. Spike still undecided on a direction.
Yeah, but this re-exploration towards this A main spot, they have no idea that Arc is positioned here. And if they can get... Gosh, the timing is so crazy.
Oh, man.
Now they're spotted out. This is such a tough position.
Left.
Arc has cleared the route. All Empire has to do is go through short, but they're gonna bait out B site, and Shelby's gonna pay for it. But Arc does pick up Rosora.
And this is a great pivot over towards that A site. They made the call that surely no one was over towards A, even getting the neural theft off. And now this site
10
will be
seconds
claimed.
Spike planted.
And Arc even picking up the frag onto Bjorn. This is going so well. And around you just didn't think it was going to end up going this route.
They're gonna get forced off that angle from that aftershock. Time ticking as the bomb still has yet to be defused, and May and company are having a hard time trying to find an entry here, but that's going to be a nice one, taking down Arc. Peroro putting up a fight, though, as is MJ. Peroro with a 2-piece. And there we go. Empire's back in it, 5-3. Suddenly, a 5-round, or excuse me, words are hard. A 3-round gap becomes a 2-round gap, and 10X still in charge here. still have money, but Empire, if they can get one more here, I think they'll be good for the next couple rounds, at least on the terms of money.
Yeah, and they should be able to recover if they can string a few of these together. I mean, I will be looking over towards that Hunter's Fury. Bjorn only one away, and MJ does have it as well, but a stun to dissuade any offers from peeking. But as we see, Evil Oppie was opting to go over towards short, and these smokes come out pretty early from the attackers. They're not even anywhere near ready to set up on site here. That early pick, but I think they're gonna have to back up no matter what.
A very
The
clean
duel there was.
Very clean early shot there from him. Now Bjorn facing off with the fellow Sova. I don't know how that shot didn't hit Hoppy, but that one did, right in the brain. Always goes down. Bjorn goes down. Kill feeds left and right. Comes down to a 1 versus 4 now. MJ. Last player standing here for Empire. 50 seconds on the clock. Has to find a way to retrieve Spike or take down all 4. And off that flash, Razora gonna take advantage, shut it down 6-3, and Tenax is right back in control.
Yeah, and after the rounds, number 8, excuse me, where I felt like Empire Redux had a great mid round and they were playing together pretty well. And then that round, it was a lot of solo fighting. It wasn't a lot of playing together. I mean, peeking that operator early on, that really was just, I mean, Evil Oppie taking the aggressive peek. But after that, it was kind of individual. So the timeout coming out from Empire Redux, I like to see this. I want to see some adjustments, especially whenever it comes to approaching this operator and how potent it could be. We're seeing the switch up of putting Evil Oppie over towards that C sites, but I will just want to see some smoke, some better ideas on how to default and try to take this map control away from Evil Oppie and the side of Tenax.
Yeah, and I do just want to touch on the fact that this is Empire's map pick. They selected this map, so there's got to be some kind of method to the madness here. They're not going to pick a map that they're, you know, not feeling very confident on either side. So,
Yep.
and this is an attacking sided map, so we have to see Empire really show up heading into the latter half of this first half. And if they don't, it's going to be really tough heading over to that defensive side. But you could also say there is a slight advantage for Empire because of the fact that they have a coach in game able to call those audibles as they're being seen, and Tenax might not have that assistance. So,
Yeah,
but when it comes down to it, it's definitely been interesting so far.
Yeah, and you see this deep push from Evil Oppie. May picked up that operator. Help pivot over towards this B side. Quick into this.
Zora, beautiful! Beautiful entry from the Zora. Bjorn's there to back her up with the Hunter's Fury. Oppie shuts them down. A flawless round from Tenax. And that timeout doesn't seem to have done a darn thing.
No. And the timeout will be called. It wasn't as much for last round, I don't believe, as it is for this round. Whenever they have rifles up again, and if they can score these next 2 rounds, while it wouldn't necessarily be the best situation going into the defense side, 5-7 is definitely a okay scenario. You can definitely get a lot of rounds, and we are seeing the switch up. I believe it's probably going to just be a quick hit over towards this A site, and there's not that operator set up over here. Just trying to farm up that ultimate orb pretty early, and this drone to re-clear. It's being burned. On the other side of the map, Evil Oppie's push up all the way down C, feeding the information to the rest of their team. They should be able to get 3 rotates over towards this A site and be set up to defend it pretty well. But we don't see the rotates coming over.
Yeah, I was going to say they're just not acting on this information, at least not yet. I think Tenax has become a little comfortable with the fact that Empire loves to move around, so they're trying to adapt to that,
Spike
staying a
down
little
A.
too stationary, and it's gonna allow Empire to just slip right on sight here. Numbers now in favor of Empire. Spike planted at A. Always the timing there. I don't think always spotted Oppie, but they're going to right now, and they're gonna go ahead and rip their head off. That's it right there on the ground. And now it comes down to 2 versus 4 on the retake for Tenax.
Yeah, they should have Omen Paranoia. The smoke comes out. Dart as well in
Last player
response.
standing.
And Shelby. I mean, that is ridiculous, Mickey.
That was... You know, I feel like that happens to me like all the time. Every time I get into like, this is why I don't play this. I play this game just so I can know what's going on, but I don't play it to have fun because you're not allowed to anymore. You're not allowed to have fun anymore. You just can't.
Fun is banned.
Because you have players like Shelby who just hop into death matches and just rounds over. That's it.
Yeah, and
Fine.
that is a great.
Last
gotta say, I mean,
round in the half.
It's a great round from Empire Redux, but to be completely honest, I think that was a pretty massive oversight on how they wanted to approach it. It's just a bit disconnected. I mean, we had the push up from Tenax all the way down C long. The smoke from May came out to hold site after the players were dead, so everything was just a little bit behind. I think the rotates come out a little bit earlier. They should be set up for success there, and we're going to be seeing the same start from Empire Redux. But on the other side, look at this quick dash play.
The aggression.
Fnatic, yeah, down middle.
Just getting sprayed down. But it's the trade on the other side of the map.
where you
Oppie now, slipping down through mid. Has Spike been spotted out though. Does take down Pororo, but MJ's there for a trade. +1. Rizoro goes down. Now 2-on-3. Spike has been recovered, headed towards C site. All 3 Empire players trickling down long here. Slowly, but surely. As always, excuse me, May.
Cover going out.
Through this smoke any moment here. Oh, the teleport, the shrouded step.
Yeah, the spike finally going down. They do have ultimate play with.
Bjorn does a bit of damage with that shock dart.
Last player
Dart
standing.
comes around swinging, does lock hand eventually onto Bjorn. May picks one up,
One
a
enemy
second
remaining.
one. 1 versus 1 now. No information
30 seconds left.
on MJ from May, but is it gonna matter? Yes, it matters very much so. MJ picks up a 3-piece, and they're gonna send us into the second
Switching
half with just a
sides.
2-round deficit for Empire. 10x still leading, but it's looking a lot more of a comfortable journey here for Empire than it was just a few rounds ago.
Yeah, and that timeout did them wonders after it. I mean, wasn't able to win the thrifty rounds, but outside of that, picked up those 2 important rifle rounds, and now only a 2-round deficit. If they can get the pistol round to start their defensive half off, they would be looking pretty good. As I mean, if Shelby can get an operator as well, I think we'll see them just excel and shoot to the top of the scoreboard. But looking into this round, I mean, Tenax is set up for a C play, but Empire Redux want nothing to do with it. Or Tenax is set up for an A play, Empire Redux for that C play, and it's just Arc over towards this A site. Gonna have to try to anchor it by their lonesome.
Hey guys, I need help.
Yeah,
I know I'm a
needs
sentinel, but I need help.
just gonna
Yeah,
decide to back off.
No choice. No choice. They have to give it up momentarily. They do have some flank that Av is actually going to take care of, but Shelby's there. Now it's a retake 4-on-4 for Empire here. Arc's already on site, has a little bit of information for the team to play with. But they're so isolated from each other. Bjorn, no way. Oh, you hate to see it. Absolutely heartbreaking. And it's going to leave it to a 2-on-3. Empire still alive here.
standing.
Shelby does go down. Always there as
enemy
well.
remaining.
Rizora heating up here. Picks up 1, but the fellow breach going to put them down. And we're going to go ahead and bring it to 7-6. Empire, just the first round of the second half. Definitely looking a little bit more comfortable on this defense.
Yeah, and the second pistol round being picked up, I mean, you have to feel like, even though, I mean, they were only able to get 3 rifle rounds on that attacking half, these pistol rounds are doing them wonders for the side of Empire Redux. Now going to be able to buy up. On the other side, you see a couple sheriffs from Rizora and Oppie, but other than that, just classics across the board. Maybe try to get a pick or two stacking over towards that C site once again, but just Tenax deciding to try to default. And I mean, if they can get a pick onto Arc, I mean, it's just the Ghost here. They would be able to get bombed down, and while it may not be a super favorable situation, they would still have to play retake for Empire Redux, so wouldn't be the worst scenario. This defense setup is a bit strange, I gotta admit, especially when you're on the, I mean, favored by, I'd say.
They have no one on B site. Arc's alone on A. I mean, he does. They do have the trap wires for a little bit extra security, but
That's the
unfortunately didn't do enough. Oppie does take them down.
Just a Ghost though, but the spike will be planted, and now
Spike
they have enough
planted.
util. And Ave on the lurk. Might get a little dicey, Mickey.
So Aftershock to push out the Heaven presence. Oppie not able to collect. 3 versus 4. Numbers are dwindling for Tenax. Nice blind. MJ picks one up. Pororo's there for the final 2. There we go. Empire looking nice in these first pistol rounds. Like you said, they've had some pretty good luck with the pistol rounds, all 4 at this point.
And I mean, calm and collected on that retake, not trying to do anything super fancy, not trying to rush it. I mean, always was even aware of the flank coming out from Ave, just sitting there being patient. And I mean, I think once always got that kill, it kind of just took the extra little edge that Tenax had going into that round. And now all tied up once again, and we're seeing this heavy focus from Empire Redux over towards the C site. An aggressive play, but once again, no one is there to receive anything.
Oh, Av. Inches away from always. It's all about the timing on that smoke. But Bjorn finds themselves in some trouble down sewers. Av does find out always down mid. Oh, Arc does it.
Down A.
Let me go ahead and shred through these folks real quick with a stinger. Picks up a 2-piece down the sewers. Now Av, that Revenge's team. No, Arc picks up number 3. Now with the Vandal in the hand, a minute on the clock. Tenax is going to be able to get spike planted here at A site, and it's. Oh wait. Oh, bait. They're gonna go to B site, but they have no idea. Empire's
remaining.
already set up on the defense for that side as well. Oh man, Razora rethinking the plant bait.
Made a step
Maybe-
though. Shelby knows
One
the
enemy
fake,
remaining.
oh, but not sure where.
30 seconds left.
It's a 1v1. How did it get to this? How is it so close?
Man, Razora playing time, not getting too over aggressive here. Comes down to Arc. It's all tied up here. Time ticking. Which of these teams is going to take the advantage? It's going to be Empire, thanks to Arc picking up a 4K and solidifying that 8th on the board. 8-7. Empire looking nice.
Yeah, and I mean, Arc going off there, able to pick up that 2-piece with the stinger over towards short, and then even was able to get Ave when they were coming back around to A short to try to clean up the mess that was left for them. And Razora doing their best to try to keep Tenax still in that round, but ultimately, I mean, Empire Redux finally taking the lead back, now 8-7. This is a game on whenever I thought, I mean, after the streak of 5 rounds in a row, I thought, well, maybe this is going to be another stomp like the week before, but no. Close as ever. Now Tenax on that low buy. And how has that been done?
Cover going out.
We saw a little bit of dominance last night in that series, and tonight's already off to a very, very different pace. Pretty much tug of war the entire first half, and this is the first time Empire's been able to gain a real lead. It's only by 1. Company now flooding out. At the C side, Oppie stops to smell the flowers and takes down
Spike
always.
planted.
Shelby and company on the retake. Every player on Tenax is on site. Pororo
One enemy remaining.
and Shelby just having a shooting gallery. It's just another day at the range. And Empire takes yet another round.
Yeah, I thought it could potentially get a little messy there, but a great smoke from May, from Always,
do?
excuse me, to just
See them
hold.
huddling, just all huddling, just holding hands. They're cold.
I mean, it's freezing out here, Mickey. I gotta say, it's
No, I
it's-
mean, dude, you don't gotta tell. I'm in Texas, dude. I'm in Texas, and it was like an average of 20 for the last 2
below
weeks. I don't
60
know
and
what's
you get
going
cold,
on.
so.
It's insane. It's nuts.
It
Our
is.
producer says he gets cold at below 60. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean-
I can, you know, I'm the type of person to walk outside in shorts and a hoodie even when it's like 40. But once it goes below that mark, I'm staying inside.
You just don't even touch it. Just like,
Yep.
I'll just play my video games.
Nope, can't come to work
Yeah,
today.
it's
Too
good.
cold. You want me to come into work? Move the
man.
clouds around. But Bjorn with some early Aldrone information forces
Arc.
Arc off that.
Just trying to go aggressive. Once again, I mean, it was successful in the round before, and as much as I wasn't a fan of the defense setup in the first few rounds, I feel like Empire Redux has adjusted very nicely now, having these rotations on a pivot, as well as, I mean, starting off Shelby over towards the C site heavy, they can switch it up later in this half and just throw a loop. I'm going to be interested to see, do they have that second layer to their strat book? Because I think it might be super beneficial to try to close out, I mean, that 11th, 12th, maybe even 13th round. But for this one, Shelby is by themselves.
They're ready for it though. No!
Can't get it done.
30 seconds
Cannot
left.
get it done, indeed. Unfortunate to see from Shelby. But it is going to open up some sight for a bit of a plant ski. The Rolling Thunder, there we go. That's going to force Arc and MJ off of that angle. They have no idea Oppie's so close. Razor's there to back them up. A Rolling Thunder from Empire now to counter, perhaps. The Girthquake as well. Fault line comes out. Always tries to get on the defuse. They have no information on anyone from Tenax.
One enemy remaining.
And Oppie puts down Pororo, and it's going to leave Always in a 1 versus 4. Quick work as well. My goodness, what a retake from Tenax, losing only one player. That is a solid retake.
Yeah, I mean, once they decided to, okay, we have that player, they picked off Shelby, and then instantly the decision was made to, okay, well, if the Jet was the solo player on C site, the rotates are going to be coming in. So Rosora popped the Rolling Thunder and just pushed all the way into their spawn. Loved that aggression, loved that play from Tenax. Let's see it continue into round number 18. They need to start getting some of these attack rounds on the board more consistently as well.
Ooh.
Not the
An
start you
early
want to
pick.
see. Yeah. A quick trade.
Oppie with an entry.
No way. Is that?
Always no! Razora reads Always like a damn book. Brings it to a 3 versus 4. Oppie, all about the angles here. Shelby reads that though. Out comes the neural threat, a little bit of information for Empire here, but don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. Bjorn is watching this flank, but they don't know. Arc's already slipped by. Meanwhile, Oppie takes out the fellow Jet here,
Last player standing.
and it all comes down to Pororo. Check the corners, check that left, does take down Oppie, forced to save. Gonna bring that Vandal in the next round. It's gonna help on the economy side, but it is gonna be a 10x round. We're all tied up one more time.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, the rounds that Empire Redux really are losing are the ones where it just is kind of individual. Whenever they stick to their game plan and play for retakes set up in a proper structured manner, they're winning out. They're playing pretty good. But I mean, you even saw the TP from Always. over towards that long position, there's no way in hell that the player sight didn't hear that and just turn around. Like, you cannot be sticking that. And that kind of just broke apart. I mean, it was very individualistic, but it's all tied up now. Both teams do still have a buy into this, so no team is quite out of it yet. And once again, early control.
130 inbound.
Yeah, over towards this A, and Oppie with the knives in hand, as well as the Bucky.
Blightstorm at the ready. Who's going to peek through the Omen smoke? Will it be Shelby? Will it be Oppie? Will it be MJ? MJ, I think, may have spotted Oppie here. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Razora is there to take down Shelby. Oppie comes in, does the damage. Razora cleans it up, though. Always there to slow down this push while the rest of the team rotates in from mid. Does pick up 1 and 2 and 3 full blind, but Razora finally puts a stop to it. And it's going to leave Razora in a 1-on-2. Is going to be able to get the spike down. It's a retake for Empire, and they have player advantage here. Oh my goodness. Razora with a 4K, but Arc just not having it. And all of a sudden, Empire. I mean, this I mentioned it earlier. The first half was a tug of war. These last couple rounds have just been back and forth between these two teams, and Empire gonna go ahead and take the lead right back from Tenax.
I want to make a note, Sir Mickey, real quick, of the kill line or the kill feed right now.
Yeah,
we have Razora and Evil Oppie both at 22 frags, 12, 11, and 7, and on the other side of Empire Redux, it's like so even. 13, 12, 12, 12, 11. The amount of frag differential is crazy, yet Empire Redux is still leading the charge 10-9. And I think that has to say a little bit of something. I mean, these rounds are just...
It speaks volumes.
Not really playing out the way they want to see him, but... Play towards middle.
Shelby's gonna get out of there. Oh, doesn't quite make it. I feel like Oppie has just had Shelby's number these last few rounds. They always somehow find each other. And not for the right reasons here. But
they found my wire.
Just like that, Tenax. Gonna swallow up Seaside. Arc sitting down long. Picks up Razora, but Av is there for a quick trade. Now a minute left. Bjorn, he's gonna go ahead and fight down here potentially. No, they get stopped. Av picks up 2. 3 under the belt. And now it's all down to MJ Hypers. Oh man, Oppie. Oppie's been a real issue here for Empire these last few rounds.
Yeah. I mean, putting up big numbers like we were talking about, and a lot of them are just so impactful. I mean, closing that round out right there, and instantly a timeout being called from Empire Redux, not wanting to let the lead get away from them, and maybe some comms issues at the end there, but I mean, timeout here is a great, I mean, they're on this low buy, so maybe can do a funky play for their defensive strat, and I mean, they've loved to go aggressive outside of timeouts and just in general on this defense, and you even see these pings coming out from Tenax to kind of be aware of that. They know where these players like to play. They know where they like to push up to. They're making note of it. So from the side of Tenax, I don't really want to see anything different. I think that defaulting over towards A to start trying to pressure out that setup and then rotating over towards C with someone over staying at A, like an insert. So then you have that option. I really like the way Tenax has kind of adjusted their attack side, and for Empire, you just need to see some more anchoring of the sites, I think, and better rotations coming out, because we saw some good ones in the middle few rounds there, but nothing crazy. Might be seeing a peek over towards this garage side.
We've been seeing a lot of slow rounds these last couple, but it seems to be a bit of a fight right out of the gate here, but they are going to go ahead, both teams are going to go ahead and just opt to wait for some information, with the exception of Shelby getting aggressive down mid. Does get spotted out. And we still have a nice 3 stack for Empire still sitting on A, but in the meantime, Tenax, they are about to run through these 2 players on C site. There we go, Zorro, starting it off.
Spike planted.
Shelby completely pinned now. Essentially in a 1 versus 5, has to wait for the rest of Empire to get there. Off that rotate, but
I
Av
know
does
exactly
finally
where
put them
you
down. Neural Theft to spot out those retakers, and the numbers are not in the favor of Empire, nor are the weaponry.
No, and there's not much you can do here if you are Empire. I mean, I would just be looking to kind of just die to bomb, to be honest. You don't really want to give money nor ult points to Tenax here. It's a done round
Last player
already.
standing.
Ave gonna be able to pick up 2, get closer towards that Neural Theft once again, and Arc just gonna have to play, 4, dying to Spike, and I don't know. I mean, once again, Tenax taking the lead here, and Mickey, we need to see a bit of an adjustment. I don't know if that was their call during the timeout, or if this round will be the main adjustments from Empire Redux, but we need to see something, because I feel like it's getting just a little bit readable, and we are seeing the switch up here.
Yeah, Tenax is really starting to get a good feel for how Empire Redux is executing these rounds, and they're starting to adapt. And that was a flawless round, by the way. that last round was flawless from Tenax. So if you're Empire right now, you're not feeling too hot. You're gonna have to spread your wings here, figure out something else, because Tenax is just really good at detecting right now.
And they kind of did. I mean, we see finally swapping their setup. I mean, they had Cypher over towards A almost the entire half, now fighting for that A short control, not having to worry about those rotations. And we see these 3 players clearing out A short, or lobby.
Enemy kill.
Oh, Shelby and always putting up a fight. Shelby, bad TP from May. Right where they didn't want to be. But Abe's still making their way to C site. Oh man.
1 enemy remaining.
Unfortunately, not able to buy enough time, but Pororo does come in for the revenge kill. It's gonna leave Ave in a 1 versus 3. Has been dropped. Pororo goes down. 30 seconds on the clock. Whatever Ave's gonna do, they're gonna have to do it now.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, and the tripwire was even broken from MJ. So that has to be a worry, but Evan is coming out. Just going over towards the B site. I don't know if they have a full amount of time to run over towards A. But
If they run, they can make it to A. That's going to make a lot
10
of noise.
seconds left.
Dave's just going to settle for the B site.
Planted the spike.
Now the retake from him. Shelby makes very quick work of Ave. And we're all tied up. One more time. 11-11-0. Make a wish.
I mean, I wish for overtime.
Oh, don't, oh.
I think we deserve it here. Maybe a little, not a super long overtime, you know, like a 14-12. Just do the math.
I thought you were gonna say a four times overtime. I'm like,
yeah,
hold
a
on
40-38, please. Actually.
Oh, jeez, don't be doing that.
That would be miserable. I cannot lie. I think the lobby would get reset at that point. But I liked the adjustment. Speaking of how Empire Redux, I mean, switched it up, finally going over aggro A, and Tenax didn't really have an adjustment for it. They went to reclear A lobby in the mid round, but the Sova wasn't there. Bjorn didn't have the drone to actually clear the space out, and they kind of just got melted. Now,
Arc. Oh.
Cage triggered.
You gotta click and then move, Arc.
a little close.
Too close for comfort. Hoppy. Sliding on into the DMs,
Camera
clearing
taken
up
out.
C site. The cam does get spotted out here. Spike planted at C.
Off your feet!
Once again, going aggressive with this Rolling Thunder.
Nowhere
Very
to
nice
run!
Rolling Thunder. Pushed Empire right off of that corner angle. 9 players still alive.
This is so chaotic.
They have the... Oh, man. Tenax has Empire pushed so deep into their spawn that they weren't aware of the flank.
Last player standing.
The defuse has been... Oh, I thought it was half. No. Poppy picks up Pororo. Spraying, but no luck as of yet. And it gives enough time for the cavalry to come in, but it doesn't matter. Oppie takes down MJ. Shelby is finally going to clean it up. And finally, Zero, we're at match point. And we'll have to wait one more round to see if your overtime wishes come true.
And I just want to make note, I mean, the ping change, I don't think we've seen it over in Tenax series affect that much, that many rounds, excuse me. But I think that was just a perfect example of the ping change coming into effect. You can't really play off site anymore. And the longer the controller player stays alive for that defense, the more impact you're going to get. Because if you can just smoke the spike and stick it, it's so hard to deal with that if you're not on site being able to push into that smoke. Now, Empire Redux on map point, 10x on the back foot finally, and a 4-player stack towards this A site. It's going to be so difficult.
Oh man, this is a 4 versus 4 right out of the gate. The only two sitting back are the 2 ciphers. Watching those flanks. But this could be a massacre for one of these teams. It's all about timing though. A minute left on the clock. Spike is in sewers on the back of Bjorn. Time ticking.
Empire's just so confident in their setup, and I love it. They have the fault line off the contact.
There we go. Oppie opening it with 1. But no follow-up. There we go. Pororo getting things started once again. The aftershock pushes Pororo right into the crosshairs of Razora. And that's going to trigger a big rotate from
30
Tenax.
seconds left.
But it's okay because Empire, they still have Arc lurking. The equipment is still set up.
Oh. Cage
They
trigger.
caught on it. Arc is well aware of this. Gonna make that call to the team. Now the rotate comes in from Empire, but in the meantime, Arc's got a fight to win, but unfortunately only picks up 1.
10 seconds left.
Always comes out of that angle.
Last
Beautiful
player
shock
standing.
dart from MJ.
Spike down.
Denies the plant. Razora gets up close and personal, takes them both down. 3 for Razora on that round.
Switching
and guess
sides.
what? Zero.
Overtime.
I have never in my life, I've been casting for 4 years, and never in my life have I witnessed a faster caster curse. That was
Listen,
like that
I'm
was
just
insane.
recognizant, you know, I got the read, and and now, I mean, finally we're gonna be seeing those sides swap once again. Economy reset, timeouts as well, and I'm gonna be looking to see, I mean, how has Empire Redux, how are they going to adjust their attacking setup? We weren't really seeing a lot of success behind it, but what we were seeing success with is when they were going over towards this middle area. Looks like we might be seeing similar sort of scenes.
There we are. Overtime in the grand final. Oh wait, no, this is the first map. What am I talking about? It's the first map. We're in
Just a long
overtime. It's fine. Everything's fine. Razora starts things off, but gets taken down. Pororo picks up 2. Bjorn from this angle catches always off guard. Spike looking for a home at C. Bjorn trying to take some pot shots, waiting for the rest of the team to rotate. But unfortunately, it's just Oppie. Oh, almost escapes the trap wire. The 2 defenders, the retakers, they are very isolated from each other.
1 enemy remaining.
And Arc even has this double wrap. It's gonna be so hard for Oppie.
I don't know if it's going to happen. I think Arc's going to catch Oppie right here.
Oh,
No, misses a couple shots. A quick tap to bait out the recon. The fault line as well. Oppie, they got to pull out every skill they've ever collected in the history of their solo career, but unfortunately, Pororo picks up a 3rd once again.
Switching sides.
13 to 12
Match
Empire.
point.
I mean, both these teams, I mean, it's crazy. If we look at the numbers one more time, I mean, there may be a kill diff, but there's really not. I mean, it's insane. The kills are there for both teams. They're just majorly in the hands of that initiator and that duelist of Oppie and Razora. So it really comes down to just those are the two that are getting into every single fight. They are initiating, they are duelisting, they are getting up close and personal, creating chaos and doing damage, which is exactly the job of an initiator and a duelist.
Yeah, and I think Razora, I mean, has gotten a lot of those frags in rounds where they're trying to clutch like a 3K or 4K occasionally. So definitely, I mean, very mechanical player. So I'm gonna be super excited to see it, especially whenever we get over to Lotus, how that continues. But I mean, they need to continue that performance into this round. I mean, they're down. Once again, the timeout has been called by the side of Empire Redux, just trying to close this out, not wanting it to go any further. And it's funny you mentioned the KD. I mean, Empire Redux, not a single player on their team is positive right now. It's quite funny. Yet they are
I didn't
leading.
even realize that.
And these types of games are, whenever that is the scorelines for these players, it's just so close. And
I love it because it shows that both kinds of rosters work, you know, where every single person is going in and getting it done and they're doing damage and they're getting kills. But on the exact opposite, you are able to have 2 or 3 players just go off and then the rest of the team just plays support. And that's working for both of these teams right now. It's really kind of interesting to see both sides of that spectrum there, but a lot of focus towards this mid area from Tenax.
yeah, just waiting, seeing if there's any aggression. Empire Redux have loved it outside of a timeout before. Shock Dart to try to break any potential tripwire. Camera finally spotted out and broken. But you see these both Arc and Always playing to anchor that C site. Meanwhile, the rotates from Tenax, gearing up, ready for an A hit. Shelby ready to receive in short.
Enemy killed.
Shelby receives a head in their lap, but Bjorn
30
is
seconds
there
left.
for a trade. MJ not going to be able to stop Razora. And Oppie and company lock it down. Now the retake. At a player deficit for Empire Redux. They have to take this round or we're going to see another overtime.
Arn's retake will have this aftershock clear out all of hell, but Razora has one to respond. A lot of delay.
Oh, the fault line to slow Arc on the push. Time is not on Empire's side. Razor starts us off.
One enemy remaining.
Takes down Arc. Aurora goes down. Always goes down like dominoes. Empire, unfortunately, not able to
Switching
capture
sides.
one more.
Overtime.
And 10x sends us in to a double overtime. Zero! Why you got, man? Last night it was me. Tonight it's you. There's always one caster that just causes issues. It was my turn last night, and it's only poetic that
I knew
you're
you-
here to ruin my night.
Yeah, I knew you weren't
gonna
gonna do it again, so I just had to step in and just take the mantle. You know, I had to volunteer.
The
And
mantle.
But getting into this round, it's gonna be a quick fight to start us off. Look at this push.
Yeah, Oppie. Oh, they don't know Oppie's there. They have no idea.
Surely
This could
they
be
do know.
legendary. Oh, Shelby not reacting quick enough. May's there for the backup. Oppie's gonna go ahead and skedaddle. They got the spike down. That's all they wanted to do. Somehow, Oppie is alive.
Yeah, and
Always-
even though
Oh, man.
2 HP, I mean, able to get out to brink their skin. And now, the push down as well, the re-clear.
Shadows
I love it. It's so bold and it's giving such great information. But on the other side, look at this push through from Jay.
Oh, man.
Spike
that's the
down
spike.
A.
Oppie from...
One enemy remaining.
Oh, MJ, you gotta check your corners. You
Yeah,
gotta
just-
be aware.
It's such a weird round as well. I mean, the spike's
it's
sitting
all over the
here.
place.
Yeah, it really is. I thought it was going to be a quick done and dusted round over towards C long, but
30 seconds
proving
left.
me wrong quickly. Now Arc in a 1v4.
We're gonna be here all night.
He might just be.
Arc does swing one, but Bjorn is there for the trade. Tenax 14-3. They need one more to
Switching
seal the
sides.
deal.
Match point.
And maybe before midnight, we'll see the second game. Perhaps.
And this is the first time that Tenax actually has been on map points. Both or all the other times it has been Empire trying to get that map point to close it out. Now Tenax over on the attacking side. What can they do? They were being shut down whenever they were trying that A default early on. But now Empire Redux swapping it over a little bit. A stun setup off of this contact from Shelby. On the other side, I mean, it's pretty barren. I mean, you have the camera to spot over towards C. Always just doing a jiggle towards garage. Pretty bare bones for this.
The first time we saw overtime this season was the first streamed match. It was on Fracture. It was double overtime. And we haven't seen one on stream since. And the last night, those matches both ended 13-6 between Skyline and Hamster. And now it's a totally different story. It is... neither one of these teams is dominant. They are just so evenly matched. But Oppie, with a bit of a running gun onto Arc, not quite ready for the stampede of 10x players. 40 on the clock.
Empire needed that kill.
It really did, but unfortunately it doesn't come through. And
Spike planted.
3 versus 5 now. Empire not looking too hot in this retake.
How do they get back into this? There's so much util to delay once again.
Aurora.
Start.
Cover going out.
Maybe some heaven assists here as Shelby.
Last player
through.
standing.
Bjorn and May picking up one apiece. Always there for 1 and 2, but
Attackers
not the
win.
third. Finally, 15-13, ladies and gentlemen. 10x. Oh my goodness. 10x finally pulls it into their favor. Well, not finally pulls into their favor, but they finally closed it out, is what I'm trying to say. And that was a GG from both teams. I mean, I've never experienced such a back and forth in the first game. I mean, they were just neck and neck the entire time, tug of war all the way through, even in the overtime. But finally, 10x is able to seal the deal, 15-13. Oh my goodness, 0. What did we just witness, man?
I mean, an intense one for sure. I mean, like you were pointing out, and that was Empire Redux's map pick.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little bit concerned going into Lotus. I mean, last week, I believe that was the map where, don't want to bring it up, but they did lose 1-13 against SAD Esports. So going to be wanting to kind of make that adjustment into the next, but Haven was such a close one, and I'm gonna be looking. I mean, look at this.
Look at these numbers
real quick. I mean, 32-18 for Evil Oppie. The other side, I mean, MJ Hypers was that MVP, only at 16-20. Not a single player went positive for that Empire Redux side. If they want to win the next map of Lotus, if they want to reverse sweep this series, they're going to have to step up their game. They're going to have to step up their frags because, I mean, this just isn't cutting it.
But, I mean, you do have to give it to them in the fact that they made it to overtime, right? They made it to double overtime. So it goes to show that you can have a solid, cohesive, communicative team that doesn't have to rely on 1 or 2 really, really good shooters. But at the same time, like you said, they do need to step it up just a little bit in that department, because seeing the opposing Jet go 32-18, Breach is right under them, 29-16. I mean, 320 combat score from Oppie. I mean, that's not going to feel good to look at from Empire's point of view. So they do have a couple things to work on, at least in the numbers department. But all in all, it was one hell of a first map. Man, 0, I think we're going to go ahead and send it out here and just give us a few moments, give the players some breathing room, and go grab some popcorn, go get some water, make sure you hydrate or dehydrate, and we'll be back with Lotus on the second map of the evening. Double overtime is how we're starting the night here. Zero. I am Zermiki. I'm joined by Zero Fights. Welcome back to the 10X series presented by Harmony Esports. And you have just witnessed. For some reason, the word dominant was coming to my brain. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful game the entire way through. Tug of war until the last moment. Double overtime victory here at the end of it in favor of Tenax. It's going to be Lotus up next. Zero, how are we feeling about Lotus?
I'm just excited to see it. I think while Haven necessarily wasn't dominant, I would say that 10X definitely looked favored in most of that map. I mean, the Empire Redux was able to get double pistol, and it was still so close. So going into Lotus, I personally will be favoring the side of 10X because I think as well they bring a little bit funkier of a comp. They like to, I think last week they went over towards the double sentinel of the deadlock and the cipher, which I really like. I think maybe it isn't necessarily the best like comp on paper, but I think it can do a lot, especially on both like attack and defense actually. And so it will be 10X's map pick as well, so expecting to see a lot of great ideas. Like we mentioned earlier, though, both teams did lose out on Lotus last week against their perspective, like just opponents. So we'll have to see how they kind of recover and if they bring any new ideas into this to try to make that adjustment, and for 10X to close it out in that 2-0 fashion, or for Empire Redux to take it all the way to the map 3 of Split.
We'll have to wait and see, but we're going to go ahead and get locked in here on our agent selection, seeing what the compositions are looking like. We saw Zero, I don't know if you were tuned in last night, but we saw overall a pretty basic composition on Lotus, but we had a surprise guest in the form of everyone's least favorite Frenchman, Chamber. Paid us a visit last night on both teams, and it was horrific. MJ, don't tease us.
And I think a lot of that, there is that Chamber, which I don't think necessarily is super terrible, but I think last night, I don't know if I loved the way it was implemented on some of those defensive rounds, but I don't think we're going to be getting that here. I mean, Ave already locked in that Cypher, excuse me, and on the other side, it looks like we're going to be seeing the Killjoy. So nothing too crazy, but I mean, if this is the comp that Empire Redux is going to go with, I don't mind it, but you are going to be missing some info. You only have Gecko for the info really with that Dizzy. You don't have the Fade Prowlers or the Eye to give you info like Bjorn is currently on. So pretty similar comps, just a few changes here and there. And so should be a pretty interesting matchup overall. But 10X will be starting on the attack and on their map pick as well, as Lotus is typically seen as an attack favored map. So
yeah, very much so.
Get themselves onto a pretty good start.
I mean, we always say it's not a best of 3 without Haven in the mix. I'm starting to feel like maybe the universe wants us to switch that from Haven to Lotus, because I mean, Lotus is becoming more and more popular. I feel that Haven is definitely it's loved, but it's also very hated because of that favoritism towards the attack side. And Lotus is very similar on the setup, but it's a fresh look. It looks a little different, so we feel different about it. But and it works a little bit different too. You have the revolving doors, you have trap doors, so you have certain areas that are very different from Haven. But overall, both maps are very, very similar in the fact that just 3 sites, very attacking sided. We are gonna go ahead and show you our beautiful faces, I think, because we had a DC, we had a disconnect. Poor Roro.
So that's 5 times fast.
I don't want to, but it's fine. It's fine. We had some connection issues last night. Got them figured out in the first couple rounds. So it's okay. We're just gonna sit here and tell you about our feelings. Zero, what's your favorite cookie?
Ooh, it's underrated. Go to the oatmeal. It's either oatmeal chocolate chip. Chick-fil-A has the best ones. Right after cooking, I'm telling you, this is secret tech right here. You heat it up just a little bit, but let it cool down. So you want the center a little gooey, but then the outside it's like nice and chewy, a little bit of crunchy. It's perfect. Or
Chewy but firm.
my mom's got these like white cranberry chocolate chip ones. Banger as well. Can't go wrong with either.
I'm gonna sound real Gen Z here. That sounds like it slaps, bruh. Oh my goodness. That sound fire. Oh my word. The oh man.
It's so good.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of just like a basic boy. I like Oreos.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
I like Oreos.
You know,
I will
Oreos
take
are
an
fire.
oatmeal cookie if there's one there, but okay, production is saying snickerdoodles
Dude,
are god tier.
Don't
Specifically
I
the
know-
old Walmart ones in the brown
I know which
box.
one he's talking about. Dude, at the third grade, like end of year parties, those things went hard. I
Oh man.
can't lie. Or you would walk in.
Soft
I don't know if you guys remember the days when you could walk up to Walmart and if you were like a kid, they'd give you free cookies if you.
What?
Don't know if they do that anymore.
What,
Yeah,
what
if you
kind
go
of
to
good neighborhood did you
you
have?
go to the bakery
What?
section. Dude, that was the best. Only reason I liked going to Walmart for those cookies. You get the snickerdoodle ones.
Just be giving
Top
cookies?
tier
That's
day.
crazy.
Top tier day.
Oh, you mean like at the bakery? They give you like a
Yeah,
sample
yeah,
or
yeah.
something? Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you walk in and the greeter's like, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. Here's a cookie." Like, I was like, what kind of wild bougie? It's fine. Everything's fine.
Middle of nowhere, Missouri bougie. That's the guy.
We're just here to yap. We're just here to yap. I think
We should be getting back into it pretty soon, but
yeah.
outside of that, I mean, I do think it gives us a quick second though to talk a little bit about Lotus as a map and how we're going to be wanting to see the approaches come towards this. I believe they did get loaded back in, so we should be hopping into the first pistol round of Lotus pretty quickly. And like we mentioned earlier, it will be Tenax starting on that attacking side, Empire Redux over on the defense. And for Empire Redux, since you don't have this Viper, you're going to be looking to aggro over towards that A position quite a lot. Get someone set up nice and early, deep over towards rubble, and try to help feed that information. And with this double flash comp, you can play a lot more aggressive. For the other side, you have the options to kind of default around a little more with that fade, get a little bit more info, make those mid-round pivots, but to start off this half, Empire Redux grouping over towards this C site, 4-player stack to try to punish anything 10x throws at them.
Yeah, I want to see some aggression come out here from 10x rocking the double initiator. They have that info, yeah, but they also have double blinds. They have whatever else is in those kits to slow down any kind of rotate here. But for now, 10x is going to go ahead and leave Spike at home where it's safe. Don't want it getting injured on the trip. Bjorn opens up the door. They were not expecting Bjorn to be there, but Bjorn wasn't expected, but unfortunately gets taken out. But May there for the trade onto the fellow Omen. Shelby coming in to clean it up, but Oppie picks up two. Peroro is there to finally shut down Oppie. 2 versus 2. A massacre is right. It was an all-out bloodbath on Mound. And Ave gonna find themselves in a one-on-one right here. Arc goes down with ease, and suddenly it's all up to Peroro.
And now, I mean, having to play retake with 2 players alive for 10x. And a good setup as well. I mean, May, Sheriff, and Armor.
Spike planted.
Oro does have the 1 flash, but is dead to 1 body shot from that Sheriff. Has to play this perfectly. The double up over towards drop. Oro has so much space to clear.
Not a lot of time to play with either.
Out of charges.
Trade room is clear. They've established that. I don't know if Peroro is going to expect both players from
One
Tenax to be
enemy
in
remaining.
this corner. Picks one up. May didn't know where Peroro had come from. And in the confusion, is able to get a 3-piece Empire.
Nice.
Clutch.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Is that the best
May.
you've got?
That's gotta be rough, man.
May
I
looking
mean,
around like a lightning struck their teammate. Oh, man.
And I mean, May is holding out the angle, but Ave was set up looking towards heaven, just worried about that spot. And then they were the ones who, or excuse me, Ave was the one who was seen first, so was able to pick up the kill on the unsuspecting player, poor Aurora was, and then just clean up on May. So unfortunate. That's not how you want to start off the map for Tenax, but back into this one. Some sheriffs in hands, but other than that, not much to go off of. Just gonna be trying to farm up orbs, maybe get bombed down to get a little extra credits.
Yeah, a lot of confusion in that first round. Trades after trades, blind after blind, one way or another. And again, we're going to see a slow round here. Arc, the Lone Ranger
Found
over
them.
at C site,
Killed my bot.
being bombarded by Tenax abilities. Prowler comes out a quick daze. Gonna be forced off that angle, but guess what? Always is ready. Always will always be on your side. And May and company starting to feel a little bit of resistance. Always does go down. Ave continuously trying to get the spike down, but MJ comes out of nowhere with a Guardian Arc as well to complement, and comes down to Ave in a 1 versus 4 with a Sheriff, and unfortunately, Empires were not built on hopes and dreams, but they were built on solid team compositions, and it's going to be 2 rounds in their favor.
And I gotta say, I didn't mention earlier, but that is the 3rd pistol picked up for Empire Redux. A huge benefit to try to get themselves just a good advantage in this series. And now, I mean, I loved the play to just flood back into sight, just kind of stall out the plants, and it worked perfectly. Now, gearing up an all-out April to start off round number 3.
The aggression. Shelby
Spike
not
down
finding the
A.
positioning they want to here, but Razora going off for a second here, taking 3 kills for their own. And
Flash out!
it's going to leave A site wide open for Razora and company to slither on in, get that exploding triangle planted.
Spike planted.
And now the retake. Player advantage to Tenax.
Yeah, and I mean, Arc will be noted on this flank. Breaks one of those tripwires. We'll have to break a second to give out all that info.
Gun here.
And Arc and Always are pretty split up. It's going to be, I mean, Arc needs to get 1 here, if not 2.
The Guardian could help out in this situation.
Good.
That's
Oh,
Carter. That's a second.
oh. 2 down. Good to
Last
go.
player
Always gets taken down. It's all up to Arc, 1-on-1. Guardian in hand. There's no time for this defuse. May
Imagine
does
if I
get
died
taken down,
right
but Arc, no time to escape. Did some good, solid economical damage for 10x there, and clutches the round, but goes down with the rifle in the hand. So the money is not extremely nice on Empire's side, but they're going to be able to comfortably buy this round. 10x, on the other hand, we're going to see some light shields.
Yeah, and I mean, Arc hitting some nasty shots there to try to claw their way back into that round, but like you said, ultimately going the way of Tenax. Both teams on scraps in their economy, so whoever wins this round will be set up pretty nicely to try to continue on in an early A fight to try to control this space from Empire. Just uncontested from the side of Tenax, deciding, okay, we can re-clear this later in the rounds. For the side of Empire, they were hoping this would potentially push them over towards that C site where, and we can see if they have a triple stack as well as just a cook setup from their Killjoy. But I love this call from 10x. Just play slow, hold out any aggression, and then now we can re-clear this space. Empire doesn't really have anything to contest and stick around towards Rubble. They have to back up if the Omen is not the one aggressed. So just very patient.
Everybody's been patient. All 10 players have been patient all night. I want to see some action.
Find you.
Come on, 10x.
Still waiting.
Hit the W key. It's been so much patience all night. We are constantly, very consistently seeing these rounds where both teams are just going to stop, hold the line, wait for information, and then push accordingly. And Tenax seems to
30
be
seconds left.
finding their way through, break on the B site. All 10 players are still up. And now we're going to have a 5-on-5 retake for Empire, but Pororo not ready for the positioning of Oppie. That's the first blood after the spike is
Last
put
player
down.
standing.
Always and MJ working together, and it all comes down to May. 1-on-4 takes down Shelby. Time is ticking. The turret goes up, as does the smoke. A bit of a tap. Oh no, the hold. Yeah, no, they're just diffusing. Yeah, that's the best case scenario for Empire. 10x, unfortunately, gonna go down one more.
Mickey, that round crumbled
So fast.
instantly. Yeah, I mean, they were set up perfectly. The mid-round call the entire way up until the bomb was down was perfect from 10x. I cannot emphasize that enough. I mean, you even had the extra layer of Oppie sticking around over towards A, but then they decided to push through CT into Waterfall, and Always was just there, cleaned up those frags, and I don't know, 10x made a play that they really didn't need to. They could have just fallen back, and that cost them the round, and it'll probably cost them this one as well. I mean, low by May, the only one with a rifle. And once again, this aggression from Empire over towards this A site, or this A rubble control, excuse me.
MJ, ready and waiting. Waiting for anything to pop through that doorway. Meanwhile, on C, the smokes are going to clear. And we see a bit of a defensive retract here. Ark and company going to fall back slightly. No point in getting too aggressive here.
Cover going out.
May stopping inches from the alarm bot. They are going to trigger it. MJ, meanwhile, takes down Ave. Numbers game in the favor of Empire here. It's a very slow entry.
Yeah, and this smoke as well, a little bit missed. You can see
Oh, the flank,
players
the
crossing.
flank.
Yes, look at this. I mean, there's no way they're ready for this. The double flank as well.
MJ
But look at the
almost had
bomb.
Resora there.
It's so late to get to this B site. All the players are set
30
up to
seconds
collapse.
Oh, Pororo. Just a little bit of damage there on the Oppie.
Spike planted.
Denies the satchel. Displacement. Ark does find Bjorn. Aftershock to force Pororo off that from the shadows. Gets denied by Oppie. Now, sight is covered in blue, but Rezora's got something to say. The Rolling Thunder comes out. They're gonna stick it. MJ's gonna stick the defuse with the help of Wingman. There's nothing Resora and company can do. MJ going up, showing off. Picking up a 3-piece and the defuse with the help of Wingman. Empire definitely in control here, but for how long?
I mean, 10x need a timeout. They need to reset because this so far, it's just so much overcooking. The investment of the Rolling Thunder there in a 2v4 when they had sheriffs and the bomb wasn't even planted for them. It's so rough to see, and it looks like they're having good ideas, but they're just going a little too far with it. So finally, with rifles back in hand, we'll have to see how their adjustment plays out. But your smoke's going down like that always is on a tear to start this half off.
Unfortunately, oh, Resora picks up two for themselves here.
There was zero reason to be going for that peak. And you're in that 5v3, just getting greedy, wanting more. And now the sight of C will be theirs. But this lurk as well from Bjorn.
Roro reads out Bjorn. That's how you check your corners. Captain Price taught us well. Resora, the timing on this flash could be everything. Not going to be able to pick up one. Pororo's there. Shelby's there with a showstopper to the forehead of Ave. And that's going to clear the round. Empire has been solid on these retakes.
Yeah, they really have. And I mean, just Shelby being the anchor there, closing it out. And they have been clean on these retakes, and that's exactly what you want to see, I think. I mean, you don't really have the fade to give you a lot of that info, so you're just relying on a lot of that double initiator utility to kind of pop back into spaces, and they're doing that very effectively, I would say.
It's fun to watch, man. It's fun to. I mean, 4 of the 5 rounds that Empire has captured have been defuse rounds. That means not only are they killing everyone, but they're doing it in the process of retaking the site. So Empire definitely, I mean, they have it locked in right now, but I'm just wondering when Tenax is going to wake up and find something here. They got to get something in the next couple rounds, or it's going to be a rough game for Tenax.
They definitely do, and 4 players grouped up in B-main. You do not see this very often. The stun comes out to cross.
Oh, it's
Trying to reclear this.
Oh, beautiful headshot from MJ to start it off, but Rizora speaks volumes, picks up 3, Ave is there for the 4th, and just like that, within seconds, in an instant 0, we find Arc in a 1 versus 3.
There's so many spots where Rizora, I mean, you don't even last round, whenever they picked up that 2K, you just don't think they would get it. They're always good for an Arc.
Got one.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the first.
Placing alarm bot.
It's a good start, but they have 2 more to take care of.
Yeah, Rizora
Don't have
has
the
that Rolling
information
Thunder as well.
Yeah, the Rolling Thunder could be absolutely instrumental here, but it's just a question of whether Tenax wants to use it in this 2 versus 1. I don't know if that would be the smartest investment here, but Arc
Placing swarm
forced to
grenade.
check all these angles. Arc, they left room for the swing.
One enemy
Fault
remaining.
line forces them in. Rizora
Okay.
goes down, but Ave seals the deal. Tenax finally gonna throw up another round on the board.
Rounds are so tense, Mickey. I mean, they are getting down to the wire for sure. And I mean, it was kind of like that last map as well on Haven. I mean, it's just back and forth. And even though Empire Redux is leading by 3, I mean, it definitely is getting a little bit down to the wire now. Tenax with 4 ultimates online. Bjorn only 1 away from that Nightfall as well. So should be able to get a few rounds off the back of just that, to be quite honest with you. And this early A control, Tenax just wants nothing to do with it. Letting Empire Redux have it for free every round.
Take hold.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they know they're not gonna be able to defend initially, so they let 10x plant to bait them in, and then they swallow them up. And it's worked pretty well, except for that last round. Dave, the lurking Cypher gets taken down. A pick from Bjorn as well.
And now always with the wrap.
Fire in the hole. Face your
Oh,
fear.
Showstopper from Oppie. It's not going to find anyone, though, unless they fire right now. No! Zooms right past Gecko. Does a little bit of damage to the ears, but that's not enough. Actually, it was just enough to push, to stop that push from Empire and 10x. They're starting to get a foothold here. It's only 2 in a row. They still have a bit more ground to cover, if you will, but it's looking a little bit better for 10x here.
Yeah, and for the side of Empire, I mean, we were praising their retakes earlier on. That round, they couldn't really get set up to retake. I mean, 10x decided to try to disrupt anything that was going on there by pushing further, and then always with that wraparound, a little slow, but going to be a brawl towards the C site. Both teams full rifles in hands. We have 4 players stacked over towards this C site, ready to do so much util dumping. Any contact, and there it is.
Grenade.
Bjorn taking down Shelby. We saw how nasty Shelby can be on these opening fights. Getting the duelist off the board early on is going to be nice for 10x, but
I know
Pororo
exactly where you are.
goes down as well. Neural Theft comes out from 10x. They're going to get that information. They're going to know MJ's already up in
Spike
heaven.
planted.
And now the retake underway for Empire here. Oh, Oppie. Beautiful defensive angles being held here from Tenax, and I don't know if Empire. I think they're gonna have to be forced into just playing for picks and save their rifles. I mean,
Yeah.
Tenax, all of a sudden, they have not only have their post plants been very solid the last couple rounds, but aside from this round, they're starting to hunt Empire, and it's really putting some pressure on the money side for Empire Redux here.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, it's not even that Tenax is doing anything super crazy. Always trying to get one to close it out, but will be picked off. And I like the calling from Tenax, playing very slow, meticulous, being okay with taking some space, rotating away. But for the other side of Empire, I feel like, I mean, that round was very gambly. I mean, you had full rifles, 4 stacking over towards C with your breach, the one who's going to be setting up those trap plays a lot of the time towards rubble to fend for themselves. No escapability, and we kind of saw it got punished there. So now, that 5-to-1 gap has quickly closed to a 5-to-4. A lot of ultimates still in play for both sides, though. And Arc, with that rifle, is able to do a lot of damage.
They found the one Omen one way that still works. Oh, Razora. Good early pick on MJ. Haunt comes out, no information. Oppie, face to face with Always, but comes out on top. Player advantage to 10x here. They're looking to tie things up 5-5. Empire's got to put their foot down at some point here and say no more. They've caught in the middle of a nano swarm. They are going to be able to begin to clear sight here, taking down Bororo. But I don't know. I don't think they know Arc is in the position that Arc is in.
No, but
Wonderful
okay. Don't know how that happens, but that's a starter.
Abe was very
They can
low.
recover that rifle. That would be huge. They might have a chance into this still, Mickey.
Oh, man. As you say that, I think that chance might have just gone out the window. Arc's been detected by that Haunt. The Prowler comes out. They know Arc's location, but they don't know where Shelby's at. They're both to get out of harm's way, but Arc's not quick enough. Forced to fight. Gonna leave Shelby in a 1 versus 4. There's no time for a defuse. Just do as much damage as you can to the economy. Picks up 2 and 3. Not able to lock in the 4th and 5th. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, within a matter of rounds, it's tied up. 10x is not backing down anytime soon. 5-5. And finally, Empire Redux gonna say, hold on, let's figure this out.
Yeah, putting a stop to it. A timeout has been called by the Empire Redux coach. And this is a great time to do it. I mean, this is their last buy round before they have to go onto a thrifty. 5 ultimates as well to invest. But on the other side, you're going to be looking at 10x. I mean, 2 ultimates of their own, 1 away from the showstopper and the Nightfall. But if you're the side of Empire Redux, you need to make adjustments here, Mickey. You need to stop playing. I mean, I would say stop going so aggressive. If you're going to set up trap plays, make sure they're well thought out and not going to happen every round, because I think 10x, honestly, has just been doing a great job these last couple rounds of sniffing those setups out and just pivoting away from it. Maybe getting a kill and just backing out. And if that's how 10x is going to play, then Empire Redux really needs to go back into that retake style that was working so well and try to rack up a few rounds. I mean, there's only 2 rounds left in this half.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think 10x picked this map. This is 10x's map pick. So, and that comes down to why. You know, and we're starting to see, you know, they feel pretty confident here on the attacking side. They were struggling the first few rounds, only able to get 1. But now, these last couple rounds, we're seeing there's a reason that 10x feels comfortable on a map like Lotus, whether it's because it's attacking sided, or maybe they just feel comfortable because it's on a beach. Who knows? Beaches are relaxing. A couple Mai Tais, an umbrella in my drink. All that stuff.
Careful now.
Let's push through into a lobby now.
Bring them down.
Trying to put up a fight. Prowler to deter just for a moment. MJ does pick up Abe, though. Bjorn with a retrade. There we... Oh, no. MJ does swing. Takes down Bjorn. 3-on-3. Oppie and company already on site, though, and now
Spike planted.
one more famous retake for Empire.
Concussing!
even gonna push into this stun to push Arc away so they can't commit that lockdown. Beautiful paranoia. Thrash to follow it up, and it does take
Last player
Fire, but
standing.
so quickly shut down.
Crash in vain. Arc left in a 1-on-3, only able to pick up Oppie. Oh man, Tenax.
Last round before the switch.
It's again those issues. Whatever is going on the side of Empire, they need to figure it out. It's been 5 losses in a row for them now. They need to adapt to what Tenax is throwing at them. And, you know, if we learned anything from that first game is that both these teams have the potential to adapt. They have the ability to adapt this situation, to read the other team, to figure out a direct approach to shutting them down. And so far in these last couple rounds, Empire just hasn't been able to do that. Tenax has made it to site and kept site 5 rounds in a row. Empire needs to figure out what to do here.
For sure. And I mean, I think some of it also comes down to the way the style that Arc is playing this KJ. It's being played very similar to a Cypher. I mean, 2 rounds in a row now. We've seen Bjorn hold on that thought.
Man. Oh, man. Rolling Thunder and Showstopper.
Face your fear!
Everything in the kitchen sink being committed over towards this Rebel fight. But the pivot,
Rotate.
yeah. And it's all left on to MJ with an alarm bot. Judge in hands could be doable.
Very doable. Judge, jury, executioner picks up 1. Looking for the second. Pulls out the classic. Right click finds them. But the trade does come out. Seaside is going to be well for the taking for Tenax. But it's bad news Bears. They are at a double deficit in terms of players here. 2 versus 4. Pororo and company. They're not going to go in soft.
Last player standing.
Bjorn unfortunately gets melted by Pororo.
This one might be it.
Razora forced off of it. I think it's going to be a tied half here at 6-6 unless Razora's got something up their sleeve, but no dice. The fellow breach puts them down, and it's all tied up 6-6. Man, I cannot stress how evenly balanced these 2 teams are. Yeah, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 key
Switching
players that
sides.
are getting all of the kills, but in terms of even then, it's not even that. Look at that. Look at the numbers. It's not even that far off.
Very evenly spread.
It's very close on both sides. I mean, it's just insane that we're even witnessing this right now. The first map went into a double overtime, and we've been neck and neck this entire map. I mean, you know, there was a bit of a stretch where Tenax really took control, but even then, they were only having a round advantage for just 1 round. They went 6-5.
Yeah.
And that was basically it. And then tied right back up, and we're right back in it in the second half.
And if Empire can get their 4th pistol round, every single pistol so far, especially on this attacking half, this could very quickly snowball into an Empire Redux win. A quick blast pack over towards this B site. A similar setup for Tenax over towards C that we saw from Empire last half. Just a turret to spot out any jump spot.
Take hold.
You aren't ready, though. The haunt for some info. Oh, no, that was
Great C's.
snare. Great C's slows down that push. Slow rotate coming in from Tenax. And again, these pistol rounds have gone fully in the way of Empire Redux every time tonight. So it's up to Tenax to break that streak.
Out.
Playing with this door, trying to bait these rotates over, and the only thing they're baiting over is over towards the middle of the map, and looks like it'll be a finish towards the C site, and always picking up Oppie.
30 seconds left.
Big pick, Oppo down.
Night.
Bjorn evens it out, though. You've heard of eye for an eye. Get ready for raise for a raise. 20 seconds on the clock. A redirect here from Empire. They're going to go for a plant on C site. Razora ready with the aftershock to attempt to deny the plant, but it is Wingman gets taken out, as does MJ. Aurora
Time.
getting in the
There's
mix.
no time.
Always picks one up. There's no time for a plant. Tenax played it brilliantly. They just had to play time, create chaos, and Empire lost track of time, and they weren't able to get it done. And there we go, 10x. Oh, man.
Spent too much time playing with the doors, acting like they're a fidget spinner, and ended up with Tenax finally able to get a pistol, and the most important one of the series so far, if I would have to say. I mean, if you can get a few rounds to put yourself onto a good start on defense, that's exactly what you want. And now Evil Oppie as well, bringing out this Outlaw. Both of these teams are focusing so heavily towards the C control, getting this early line and setting up, and even gonna, don't know if they meant to grab that, but will grab the orb now. Yeah.
There goes the smoke. Oh, but it's been refreshed. May's already on it. Time ticking away. Still plenty to be played. A lot of attention being paid towards the C-long area, but on mound here, the flash comes out. May's got one to trade. Oppie's there to help out their teammate.
Cover going out.
A good chunk of damage from that nade, though, in the back of May.
Bjorn picks up two. On B side, May repositioning
Shadows
to this close corner here. Banking on always not swinging, and they don't. Razora does pick one up. A quick refrag from Pororo, but Oppie's there to shut it all down. 8-6, and 10x now 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah. And some pretty good weapons, not able to carry over that Spectre that was dropped from May. But I mean, an Outlaw, a Bulldog, not too bad. And I want to look over, I mean, Arc even being forced down to a Bulldog just to afford full armor. 3 of those players on Empire Redux are on either half or regen. So this Outlaw could do wonders. But it's posted up towards this B site as all of Empire gear up for this A rubble take.
Now a little bit more aggression coming out from Empire. They're done waiting. They want to get this done and over with, but some equal aggression from 10x coming out mid. Arc might get sandwiched here. Bjorn and Razora come swinging in. Arc does take down one, but a trade is there. Meanwhile, on the opposite end of the map on A side, Spike has been planted, and Empire Redux already set up for the post-plant defense. It's 4-on-4 for 10x here.
Here. Annihilated.
Great stun as well.
Last player
Another
standing.
pick. Shelby there as well. Always finally get taken down. And MJ seals the deal, takes down Ave, and Empire not out of this quite yet. At this point, I just don't even know what to say, Zero. It's just been a tie game the whole time. This series as a whole has just, I mean...
It's delivered so far.
We've been live for 2 hours, and we're only in the we're just now in the second half of the second map. This has just been such an even matchup that, like, it's honestly kind of difficult for my small brain to comprehend, but I don't know how we're here or what's happening really, but one of these teams really needs to put their foot down and say no more, and they need to go on a roll to really seal the deal here. And if Empire has any hope of sending us to a third map, then they're going to have to be the ones to get a streak going here. But I really, at this point, the third map it's still a coin toss.
It might be, and Empire Redux deciding once again to try their luck over towards A.
I'll find you.
Or a little overcommitted into a spot where they could get spammed, and only one away from the ultimate. That was a huge power position. And now, the paranoia, as well as the pick onto Razora, will give Empire the B site
Spike planted.
uncontested now into a 5v3 for this post plant. Shark or the Thrash ult as well.
Oh, Av, no connections whatsoever. But Oppie is there for the revenge. But this angle,
Last player standing.
dangerous. Always does spot them out. A trade from May, but Arc is gonna be that final kill on the board, and again, again, a tied game. 8-8. I mean, it's the last, since we mentioned the numbers in the first half, I've been looking at them, and it's still, I mean, it's insane to look at the numbers here. I mean, they're really not that far off, aside from maybe Ave 6-12, May 8-12, not doing phenomenally, but they're there in the smokes, in the trap wires, in the camera information. They're still participating very heavily on those agents. So it just goes to show, but I mean, it's insane how evenly matched these two teams are.
And finally, we're seeing Tenax go aggressive towards Rebel, trying to gain control, but it is on that low buy. So they will decide even to push forward. And as a reaction, Empire Redux just deciding, okay, you want a Rebel? That's fine. You're on an eco. We can take this C, let you play for retake. And I mean, how can Tenax get back into this with just Sheriffs in hand? I don't want to be seeing any ults committed into this retake unless they get a pick or two to start it off.
They do have the showstopper and the nightfall on 10x, but invest in it like you said. I really don't advise. Oh,
It's just
not even a competition. Just mowed down. Bjorn, last standing, pulls out the Sheriff. Unfortunately, the only thing loaded in that Sheriff was hopes and dreams, and that's not what kills people, buddy. But it's a flawless round from Empire Redux, and I don't know what else to say. It's just been tug of war this entire time.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to see an adjustment. We are going to be seeing, once again, the same setup from 10x from their last round, but this aggression, I mean, like we saw, I mean, Empire is completely okay with just going over towards that C site, and if 10x doesn't really have a response for that retake, a real set protocol, then it doesn't really matter, but the rotates aren't going to come out as quickly this time, and this is what I love to see. We're seeing May posted up on Rebel, just jiggling, getting that info, and that allows for Oppie to rotate over towards the B site, towards the C site, to try to be that quick rotate to support any site anchor. So we'll have to see where Empire decide to end up going, but Oppie, that's early angle onto B main.
Oppie, gotta miss the first couple. Takes a bit of damage, nothing too detrimental here. Time is running out. The attackers, Empire Redux, they gotta find a gap to slip through, and I'm wondering if May is gonna allow this to happen here.
And May, I mean, maybe gets one, but needs to get out after this is spotted. You don't want to be overcommitted. Yeah, just decides to teleport out. I like this decision.
Yep, big brain.
Play for
big
retake.
brain.
They have the Nightfall and the Showstopper Mickey, so they can definitely get back into this A site. And look at how many players are here already. The Showstopper.
Both ults invested for 10x, but it's not enough. Spike still goes down, but MJ does get taken out in the process, as does Pororo. 10x putting everything they have into retaking this site, and it's working so far. Shelby stuck in tree along with Always. Always does pick one up, but it doesn't matter. It's a near flawless round for 10x, and that's the most action we've seen in 6 rounds, and it was on a retake. 10x dumping both ultimates and a ridiculous amount of utility into that site to ensure that point. And man, it worked.
That was a beautiful reaction as well. I thought they were at least going to wait like another second or two to go in for that retake, but they were just so proactive about it. The Nightfall was invested, and as Empire was getting onto the site, I mean, that's when 10x decided to fight them, and it worked out perfectly. Wonderful adjustment, but now 2 ultimates are gone. How do they respond in kind? Can they continue? Get a shoot round?
Oh, Oppie.
Down. C. One enemy remaining.
Started off, picks up 2, but no, always there for 2 of their own. But and a third. Bjorn goes down. And now, 1 versus 2. Always Spike is down on Mound. But no information to work with.
No. Can get the from the shadows if Always decides to pick up that ultimate orb. But we've seen Always clutch in these scenarios. I mean, so clean with their shots today, leading their team 19-14 currently. But this would be a huge ask, an ace clutch to put them on to double digits.
It's gotta be clean. Whatever Always does here, they have to be decisive. And I think they are gonna opt for an A site push, but time is running out. They're gonna have to do it soon.
30 seconds left.
Yeah. And May even has their own from the shadows to be able to use that as a bit of info gaining utility. Just deciding to play together. There's no one home.
The silence is driving me nuts. Zero. Always does.
Planted. My ultimate is ready.
Plant Spike here at A site. The rotate coming in from Tenax. 2 versus 1. The 2 are holding hands. Safe to say they're going to swing in from the same direction. Oh, no, we're going to see May pull out from the shadows. Looking for information, finds none. The reposition, however, from Always up into heaven. Smoke comes out to try to slow down that push.
Great bit of info. They saw where that smoke came from.
Zora trying to get the wide angle here. Always just has to spam through the smoke. Not going to find anything, though. Razora shuts them down. And May pulls out the defuse, and 10x pull right back ahead. 10-9 with 2 defuses in a row.
Yeah. And a great start to that round as well, I gotta say, Mickey. I mean, deciding to kind of go for that bait play with the classic Cypher Cam to get deep info over towards the C Mound position, and then Oppie just playing behind Mound, able to pick up 2, and Always just doing their best to try to keep their team into it. And, you know, I don't really hate anything that either team is doing right now. I think, though, Tenax has really kind of caught on.
I hate everything they're doing. Everything, all 10 players. This has been, yes, it's been absolutely intense. It's been exhilarating to watch, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just been such a grueling series so far. And we're still no closer to figuring out if we're going to see a third map. We're still in map 2, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't, my brain. It hurts.
It's just so close, but something I'm going to be looking for this round. I mean, Divine, the Empire Redux coach, probably being a little birdie in the ear of their players. They do have this Killjoy lockdown to potentially play with, but for 10x, once again, we're seeing this B main aggression. Does it get anything? It did not last time. It's broken, and they decide just to push to fall back a little bit. But look at this, the Rolling Thunder set up.
Here we go, pushing back. Empire. MJ stuck in a corner with an aftershock and a grenade at their toes. No escape. Oppie looking for the verticality for an overhead view. They're going to see that C Mound has been abandoned, and all of a sudden, A Long is being covered in red. Breakable door. Should be, yep, getting penetrated here right now, but it's a little too late. 10x. I don't know if they're gonna be able to. Yeah, they're not gonna stop this spike plant.
No, but that is the lockdown gone.
Oh,
from Arc being picked off.
Go get him.
Abe, regulatory corners. Team coming from the opposite direction. Flashes are flying, smokes are flying, rockets are flying. No one's home for the showstopper, but Razora shows up with a 2 and a 3, looking for a 4th, finds it in Always, and 10x continuing to show us that they are phenomenal on these retakes. 3 rounds in a row, 11-9. All 3 in a row have been defuses.
Yeah. And Razora, I mean, the breach player, a lot of the times you're not necessarily looking towards your breach to pick up a lot of those frags because they're going to be in positions to support their team with their utility to set up those stuns. But Razora has been so consistent with it. One of the standout players for this Tenax squad. And if they want to close out this series in this 2-0 fashion, to continue on. Early take of this Rebel control. No one really contesting it as we see Ave is just set up with the same Cypher setup over towards this A site. And a punish onto MJ once again. It's like deja vu, Mickey.
It really is.
Destroyed.
I feel like Empire's just really failing to read at this point. These last two rounds have not been their strongest, but Perora nonetheless is going to be able to get that spike planted. 10x just needs 2 more rounds to seal the deal in a 2-0 fashion. Rolling Thunder coming out. Ave is ready to catch always. And they do right in the face.
And look at this lurk. It's going to be spotted out now by that Neural Theft.
But no one sees it. Arc picks up Razora. Shelby picks up Oppie.
You should
Bjorn's on
run.
site
One enemy
with
remaining.
May.
Out of charges.
May and Ave both pick one up. Arc, last standing, 1 versus 2. No, May is going to seal the deal with a 3rd kill. And there we go. Finally, 0. We have reached match point for
point.
10x. 1 more on the board. And that's going to be all she wrote for tonight.
Yeah, and it has looked clinical these last 4 rounds, I gotta say. And I mean, even investing 2 ultimates from Empire Redux, not able to get a thing from it. They still will have the Thrash to try to get them back. I mean, they have 3 chances to push this to an overtime. But on the other side, I mean, Evil Oppie with that showstopper, gonna be looking to close it out, and nothing really being changed. And you don't really have to. I mean, this trap setup over towards the C site has worked perfectly. The retake setup over towards A. So, I mean, if it's not broke, no need to fix it. And so I think that's a perfect mentality to go into this round with.
Shadows traveling.
10x on match point here. Looking for anything, any early advantages they can take to seal the deal. Empire, on the other hand, looking for a hole in the fence.
Cover going out.
Wingman goes out. No plant for Wingman, though. Now the Gecko to help clear sight for those flashes. Ave has eyes in the sky. Thrash comes out. They're not going to be able to find anybody.
Just being very meticulous about clearing out this site.
Spike planted.
Shelby and Peroro both in great
Found my
positions
wire.
to deny Ave the space up in heaven, but Bjorn and May coming in through breakable door. Gonna find always, ready and waiting. The Prowler comes out, forces them off of that angle momentarily. Still all 10 players somehow breathing in this round. Shelby barely dodges Oppie's showstopper. However, Peroro goes down. Arc picks one up. May's there for a refrag. It's nothing but
Last
chaos
player
on
standing.
site. Arc, May takes down Arc. 1 versus 3 now. It's all up to Always, but there's no time.
Defenders win.
13-9 is your final score. We didn't go into overtime. 10x, ladies and gentlemen, a 2-0 series going to 10x. I mean, oh man, what a series, Zero. What a series.
Honestly. And I mean, both maps, excuse me, were so close. I mean, first map going 15-13 in overtime. This map, it was 9-9, and then 10x was able to string together, I believe, 5 rounds in a 5 rounds in a row to really push them over the edge, close it out. And I gotta say, the adjustments being made from 10x were great. I don't necessarily think their initial ideas were always the best, but they were always able to come back into it with fresh ideas, round to rounds, and they closed out the series 2-0, and now they're going to be 1-1 in the standings.
Yeah, they're feeling comfortable right now overall. They have a little room for improvement, but Empire, you got to give credit where credit is due. Empire did not back down the entire time. We saw some crazy adaptations. We saw some crazy audibles being called. The picks were there. Unfortunately, Empire only had 2 of the 5 players that didn't go negative, Arc and Always. Unfortunately, those aren't the numbers you need to be putting up. But when it comes down to it, Tenax, they just worked together in a way that Empire just couldn't quite read all the way through. They had moments where they could predict their behavior, but when it came down to it, Tenax just did what they needed to do. They locked in. They got those final 4, 5, 6 rounds in a row, and they sealed the deal. And it's a GG to both teams, but Tenax, they showed up in the latter half of that second half right here on Lotus, and y'all saw it first. I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, I want to make note of Resora specifically. I don't think
Yeah.
they were playing in Tenex series during series 2, but now, I mean, 2 weeks in a row, putting on just a dominating performance. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe they got 28 frags over on Haven. This map picking up 21. I mean, as your initiator player, if you're able to have someone who's fragging out that consistently, that often, just be in line with your duelist, I mean, they're going to be looking good. They're looking great currently, and I'll be looking forward to see how they continue playing during the rest of the season, and if they potentially could get to playoffs or maybe even further than that.
Yeah, it's going to be a show, to say the least. We still have plenty of season 2 to be had, at least a couple more weeks here. Be sure to come back next week, Wednesday and Thursday, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here momentarily. But before we do, again, Wednesday and Thursday, 7 Eastern is start time for these matchups. We have 2 best-of-3s every week. We also have some offline matches happening as well. But Zero, I'll see you next week, man. Thank you for joining me on the desk. Ice Fire Raid on the production and observing today. Thank you very much to everyone who stopped by, and a very special thank you to Harmony Esports for helping us put this whole tournament together. It's been a blast, to say the least. And that's it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe, hydrate or dihydrate, and we'll see you next week with some more Valorant action right here on 10X Series.